Maya Chen pressed her white cane against the cracked pavement, feeling for the familiar path through Central Park. The year 2087 had brought floating cars and holographic billboards to New York City, but the old park remained mostly unchanged. She preferred it that way. The sounds were cleaner here. No buzzing hover traffic or chattering AI assistants. Just wind through leaves, distant laughter, and the steady rhythm of her own footsteps. She had been walking this route for 3 years, ever since the accident that took her sight at age 16. Now 19, Maya had grown comfortable with her world of sounds, smells, and textures. Her enhanced hearing implants helped, but she relied more on her natural senses. Technology couldn't replace everything. Today felt different, though. There was a new sound. Heavy breathing, not human. Panting. Maya stopped walking and tilted her head, listening carefully. "Hello," she called softly. The panting stopped. Maya heard the soft pad of large paws on grass moving closer. Her grip tightened on her cane. Wild animals in Central Park were rare but not impossible. "Easy there," said a voice nearby. "He's friendly." Maya turned toward the voice. Male, older, with a slight accent she couldn't place. The panting resumed, closer now. "He?" Maya asked. "Retired police dog. German Shepherd." "His name is Atlas." The man's voice carried sadness. "Mind if he comes closer? He seems interested in you." Maya hesitated. She had always loved dogs but hadn't been around one since losing her sight. Okay, but slowly." She heard the man give a quiet command in what sounded like German. The footsteps approached steadily but gently. Then she felt it, a large warm presence beside her. "Hot breath on her hand, may I?" Maya asked, extending her fingers. Of course, her hand found thick, soft fur. The dog was massive but stood perfectly still as she explored his head and ears. His breathing was calm and patient. There was something unusual about his collar, though. Smooth metal with small bumps that felt like buttons or sensors. "He's beautiful," Maya said. "You said retired police dog?" 12 years of service," the man replied. "Name's Henrik Larson, by the way. Former K9 handler." There was pride in his voice, but also deep sadness. "Atlas was the best partner I ever had. Saved more lives than I can count." "Was? He looks healthy to me." Henrik was quiet for a long moment. Atlas pressed closer to Maya, his large head resting against her leg. "The department retired him 6 months ago, said he was too old, too slow. But that wasn't the real reason." Henrik's voice dropped. "Atlas has these episodes ever since the Proxima incident." Maya had heard about Proxima. Everyone had. 2 years ago, first contact with an alien species had gone terribly wrong. The Proxima creatures had attacked New York City with some kind of psychic weapon that drove humans into violent madness. Thousands had died before military forces finally drove them back. The city still bore scars. "He was there?" Maya asked, still stroking Atlas's fur. "Right in the thick of it. Atlas and I were part of the response team." The aliens' psychic attacks affected humans differently than animals. While people went crazy, dogs and other animals seemed resistant. Atlas saved dozens of people that day, pulling them to safety while they couldn't think straight. Maya felt Atlas shudder slightly under her touch. She moved her hand to scratch behind his ears and he relaxed. But something changed in him after that. Sometimes he'll stop dead in the middle of a walk and start whining, looking up at the sky. Other times he'll suddenly run to a specific spot and dig, like he's searching for something buried. The vets can't find anything wrong, but the department said he was unreliable now. "That's horrible," Maya said. "After everything he did for the city. Government doesn't care about heroes once they're no longer useful." Henrik's bitterness was clear. They pension off human cops with honors, but a dog just gets put out to pasture. Maya continued petting Atlas, thinking there was something special about this dog, something beyond just his training. She could feel it in the way he stood so perfectly still, so aware, and that collar with its mysterious sensors. "Henrik, can I ask you something?" "What's with his collar?" Another pause. "That's complicated. Atlas wasn't just any police dog. He was part of a special program, Enhanced. The collar monitors his vitals, but it also..." Henrik seemed to be debating how much to tell her. Also what? "It amplifies his natural abilities, makes him more sensitive to things humans can't detect. That's why he was so effective against the Proxima creatures. He could sense them before our equipment could." Maya's heart raced. An enhanced police dog with special abilities? And he was being thrown away because those abilities made him seem unreliable? "Where are you taking him now?" she asked. "Walking helps calm him. We do this route every day." He seems to like the park. Henrik's voice grew softer. Truth is, I don't know what to do with him. My apartment is tiny and my pension barely covers my own expenses. Atlas deserves better than what I can give him. Maya felt a strange pull in her chest. She had lived alone since her parents died in the same accident that took her sight. Her trust fund paid for a small apartment and basic expenses, but life had felt empty lately. Going through the motions of rehabilitation, learning to navigate the world without sight but never really connecting with anyone. What if... She started, then stopped. It was crazy. She barely knew this man or his dog. But Atlas pressed closer against her leg as if he could sense her thoughts. His presence felt solid, comforting, safe. What if what? Henrik asked gently. Maya took a deep breath. What if Atlas could stay with me for a while? I have space, and I think maybe we could help each other. The silence stretched long enough that Maya wondered if she had overstepped. Then she heard Henrik let out a shaky breath. Young lady, I think that might be exactly what both of you need. Atlas made a soft sound that might have been agreement. Maya smiled for the first time in weeks. 3 days later, Maya's apartment felt completely different. Atlas had settled in like he belonged there, his large form somehow fitting perfectly in the small space. Henrik had spent hours explaining Atlas's routines, dietary needs, and the strange episodes he sometimes experienced. Remember, Henrik had said as he prepared to leave, if he starts acting agitated, don't panic. Just talk to him calmly. He responds well to human voices, especially when he's having one of his episodes. Maya had nodded, though she wasn't entirely sure what to expect. Now on their first morning alone together, she was learning just how extraordinary her new companion really was. She woke up to find Atlas sitting perfectly still beside her bed, not moving or making a sound, but somehow she knew he was watching her. Good morning, Atlas, she said softly, reaching out to pet him. His tail thumped once against the floor. As she got ready for her morning routine, something remarkable happened. Without any training or commands, Atlas began anticipating her needs. When she reached for her cane, he gently nudged it closer to her hand. When she walked toward the kitchen, he positioned himself slightly ahead and to her right, creating a living guide that was far more intuitive than any technology. You're incredible, Maya murmured as Atlas helped her navigate around a chair she had forgotten was out of place. It's like you can read my mind. That thought would prove more accurate than she realized. Around noon, Maya was preparing lunch when Atlas suddenly went rigid. She heard his breathing change, becoming faster and more focused. Then he began to whine softly. Atlas, what's wrong, boy? He moved away from her, his claws clicking on the hardwood floor. She heard him pacing near the windows that faced east toward Manhattan's center. The whining grew more urgent. Atlas, talk to me. What do you sense? Maya approached carefully, using her cane to navigate. When she reached the window, Atlas pressed against her leg and continued staring outside. She wished desperately that she could see what had captured his attention. Then her phone rang. The emergency alert system. Attention citizens of Manhattan. Unusual atmospheric readings detected over the financial district. This is not a drill. Residents are advised to remain indoors and monitor official channels for updates. Maya's blood went cold. Atlas had sensed something wrong almost 10 minutes before the city's most advanced sensors had detected it. She knelt beside Atlas and placed both hands on his head. What is it, boy? What do you see out there? Atlas turned to look at her, and for a moment something extraordinary happened. Maya felt a strange tingling sensation behind her eyes, and suddenly she could sense something. Not sight exactly, but awareness. There was something in the sky to the east, something that felt wrong and alien. The sensation lasted only a few seconds before fading, leaving Maya breathless and confused. Her phone rang again. This time it was Dr. Sarah Kim from the Enhanced Animal Research Institute. Maya, Henrik Larson gave me your number. I need to speak with you about Atlas immediately. Dr. Kim, what's this about? Have you noticed anything unusual about Atlas's behavior today, particularly in the last hour? Maya looked at Atlas, who was still staring intently toward Manhattan. He's been agitated, looking east. He seemed to know about whatever's happening before the emergency alert went out. There was a sharp intake of breath on the other end. Maya, I need you to listen carefully. Atlas isn't just an enhanced police dog. He's part of a classified program we developed after the Proxima incident. His collar doesn't just monitor him. It amplifies his natural psychic sensitivity. Psychic sensitivity? Dogs, especially German Shepherds, have always been sensitive to things humans can't detect. Electromagnetic fields, subtle changes in air pressure, emotional states. But Atlas is special. During the Proxima attack, exposure to their psychic weapons didn't drive him mad like it did humans. Instead, it enhanced his natural abilities. Maya sank into a chair, Atlas immediately moving to press against her legs. You're saying Atlas is psychic? In a way, yes. He can sense threats that our technology can't detect yet, and based on what Henrik told me about your interaction in the park, I think he may be forming a connection with you too. Maya thought about the strange sensation she had experienced moments ago. What kind of connection? We don't fully understand it yet, but some humans who spend extended time with enhanced animals begin to develop a limited form of the same sensitivity. It's like the animals can share their perceptions with trusted companions. Atlas suddenly relaxed, his posture shifting from alert to calm. Almost immediately, Maya's phone buzzed with an update. All clear. Atmospheric anomaly has dissipated. Cause determined to be solar flare interference with detection equipment. No threat to public safety. But Maya noticed that Atlas didn't look convinced. He remained focused on the eastern horizon, his enhanced senses apparently detecting something the city's instruments had missed entirely. Dr. Kim, what exactly happened during the Proxima incident? Henrik mentioned that Atlas and other animals were resistant to the aliens' attacks. The Proxima creatures used a form of psychic warfare that targeted human brain patterns specifically. They couldn't affect animals the same way. But Atlas was different even from other dogs. He seemed to actively resist their influence and could even predict where they would attack next. That's why the police department really retired him, isn't it? Not because he was unreliable, but because they didn't understand what he had become. Government agencies don't like things they can't control or explain. Atlas's abilities made them nervous. They preferred to write him off as damaged rather than try to understand what he could do. Maya felt anger rising in her chest, so they just threw him away. Which is why Henrik bringing him to you might be the best thing that could have happened. Atlas needs someone who can appreciate his abilities without trying to exploit them. And based on what I'm hearing, you might be developing complementary abilities of your own. As if to confirm Dr. Kim's words, Atlas turned to Maya and placed his large head in her lap. The moment his fur touched her skin, she felt that strange awareness again. This time it was clearer, more focused. She could sense Atlas's emotions, loyalty, protectiveness, and something that felt almost like hope. Dr. Kim, there's something else I need to know. The emergency alert today. Was it really just solar flare interference? A long pause. Officially, yes, but Atlas's reaction suggests otherwise. Maya, I think you and Atlas need to meet with me tomorrow. There are things about the Proxima incident that the public was never told. Things that might explain why Atlas is still having those episodes. After hanging up, Maya sat quietly with Atlas, processing everything she had learned. Her life had been turned upside down in just 3 days. She had thought she was simply giving a home to a retired police dog. Instead, she had apparently become partner to one of the most unique creatures on Earth. What do you think, Atlas? She asked, scratching behind his ears. Ready for whatever comes next? Atlas looked up at her, and Maya swore she could feel his answer without words. They were in this together now, whatever this turned out to be. Outside, the sun was setting over a city that had no idea how close it had come to danger that day, or how a blind girl and an extraordinary dog had been the first to sense the threat. But Maya had a feeling this was only the beginning. The Enhanced Animal Research Institute occupied 3 floors of a gleaming tower in Midtown Manhattan. As Maya and Atlas rode the elevator to the 23rd floor, she could feel tension radiating from her companion. His enhanced collar was emitting a soft humming sound she had never heard before. It's okay, boy, she whispered, placing her hand on his head. We're safe here. But Atlas's reaction suggested otherwise. His muscles were coiled tight, and she could sense his readiness to protect her from whatever threat he perceived. Dr. Sarah Kim met them at the elevator doors. Maya heard her sharp intake of breath when she saw Atlas. My God, Henrik was right. He looks magnificent. Dr. Kim's voice carried a mixture of professional excitement and genuine warmth. Hello, Maya. I'm so glad you could come. As they walked down the hallway, Dr. Kim explained the facility. We have 43 enhanced animals here representing 12 different species. Dogs, cats, ravens, even 2 dolphins in our aquatic lab. But Atlas was always our most successful subject. Successful at what exactly? Maya asked. They entered a large conference room with windows overlooking the city. Atlas immediately moved to position himself between Maya and the windows, his attention focused on something outside. "Please have a seat," Dr. Kim said. "There's a lot you need to understand about what Atlas went through, and what he's capable of now." Maya settled into a chair, Atlas lying down beside her but remaining alert. Dr. Kim activated what sounded like a holographic display. 2 years ago, when the Proxima ships appeared over major cities worldwide, we thought we were prepared. Our military had weapons, shields, contingency plans. What we didn't expect was psychological warfare, the room filled with soft sounds that Maya assumed were images, appearing on the display. The Proxima creatures used directed psychic energy to turn humans against each other. Within hours, people were attacking neighbors, abandoning their posts, or simply catatonic with terror. Traditional defenses were useless because the enemy was inside our minds. Maya shivered, remembering the news footage she had heard on the radio, the screaming, the chaos, the complete breakdown of order. But animals were different, Dr. Kim continued. Their neural patterns don't match human brainwaves exactly. Dogs especially seemed immune to the psychic attacks. That's when we developed the enhancement program. You experimented on them? Maya felt a surge of protective anger toward Atlas. Not experimented, enhanced. We took volunteers, animals who were already working with military and police units. The process amplified their natural sensitivity to electromagnetic fields, emotional states, and what we now understand to be psychic energy. Atlas made a soft sound, almost like he was responding to the explanation. Atlas was our first successful enhancement. Within weeks, he could predict Proxima attacks hours before they happened. He saved hundreds of lives during the siege of Manhattan. Henrik mentioned that. But what really happened to end the invasion? The official reports were vague. Dr. Kim was quiet for a long moment. That's classified information, Maya. But given what's been happening lately, I think you need to know the truth. She pressed something that changed the tone of the holographic display. The Proxima didn't just leave on their own. Atlas and the other enhanced animals weren't just detecting the aliens, they were fighting back. Somehow their enhanced neural patterns could disrupt Proxima psychic attacks. When we realized this, we coordinated a global response using enhanced animals as psychic shields. Maya's mind raced. You're saying Atlas helped drive off an alien invasion? Atlas was instrumental in the final battle over Manhattan. While human forces provided conventional firepower, Atlas and 12 other enhanced dogs created a psychic barrier that protected our troops from enemy influence. Without them, we would have lost the city. Maya reached down to stroke Atlas's fur, feeling a new level of respect for her companion. So why isn't he being treated like a hero? Because the government is terrified of him. The same abilities that saved us could theoretically be turned against human interests. There are people in Washington who want all enhanced animals destroyed. Atlas suddenly stood up, his attention fixed on the windows. A low growl rumbled in his throat. What is it, boy? Maya asked, but Atlas was already moving toward the glass. Dr. Kim's voice became sharp with concern. Sarah, run a full spectrum scan, now. Maya heard rapid typing on a keyboard, followed by several electronic beeps, picking up electromagnetic anomalies 3 miles southeast. Pattern matches, Dr. Kim's voice trailed off. Matches what? Maya demanded. Proxima signatures. But that's impossible. Our satellites have been monitoring for any sign of their return. Atlas began barking urgently, a sound Maya had never heard from him before. It wasn't the bark of a pet dog, but the warning call of a highly trained police animal alerting to immediate danger. Dr. Kim, we need to evacuate the building, Maya said, standing up. She could feel something through her connection with Atlas, a sense of wrongness approaching fast. Maya, how could you possibly know? Because Atlas is telling me, and he's never wrong. The building's emergency alarm system activated, filling the air with harsh warning tones. Over the intercom, a voice announced, all personnel evacuate immediately. This is not a drill. Dr. Kim grabbed Maya's arm. We need to get to the enhanced animals. I can't leave them here. Lead the way, Maya said, trusting Atlas to guide her. They ran through corridors filled with panicking people. Atlas moved with purpose and steering Maya around obstacles and keeping her steady. As they descended to the lower levels where the animals were housed, Maya could hear sounds of distress from dozens of creatures, barking, howling, screeching. They're all sensing it, Dr. Kim panted as they reached the animal wing. Every enhanced animal in the facility is going crazy. Maya felt overwhelmed by the psychic noise. Through her connection with Atlas, she could sense the fear and agitation of every enhanced creature in the building. But underneath that chaos, she felt something else: determination. These animals weren't just afraid. They were preparing to fight. Dr. Kim, what if this isn't an attack? What if it's a test? What do you mean? Maya placed both hands on Atlas's head, trying to understand what he was sensing. What if the Proxima never really left? What if they've been watching, waiting to see if our defenses were still active? Atlas looked up at her, and suddenly Maya understood. The atmospheric anomaly the day before, Atlas's continued episodes, the way he always stared at the eastern horizon. He had been sensing Proxima presence for months. They've been hiding, gathering intelligence about our enhanced animals, and Atlas has been trying to warn everyone. Dr. Kim stared at Maya in horror. If that's true, then this facility is exactly what they'd want to destroy. We're housing the only effective weapons humanity has against them. Atlas barked once sharply, then began moving toward the emergency exit. His message was clear: time to go. As they evacuated with 43 enhanced animals and their handlers, Maya realized that her quiet life as a blind girl learning to navigate the world had just ended forever. She was now part of Earth's first line of defense against an alien species that had never really gone away. And Atlas had been preparing her for this moment since the day they met. The evacuation had been chaos, but Maya found herself strangely calm as she sat in the emergency command center 3 blocks away. Around her, military personnel coordinated with Dr. Kim's team while enhanced animals and their handlers filled every available space. The psychic tension in the room was overwhelming, but Atlas remained steady beside her, serving as her anchor in the storm of fear and confusion. "Satellite imagery confirms it," announced Colonel Martinez, the commanding officer. 3 Proxima scout ships, cloaked but detectable now that we know what to look for. They've been circling Manhattan for at least 6 hours. Maya felt Atlas tense. Through their growing connection, she sensed his analysis of the situation. The ships weren't attacking yet, they were studying, learning about the enhanced animals' capabilities. "Colonel," Maya said, surprising herself by speaking up in the military briefing, "I think they're testing our responses. Atlas has been sensing Proxima presence for months, but today feels different." Colonel Martinez looked skeptical. "Miss Chen, with respect, we have trained analysts who missed 3 cloaked ships for 6 hours," Maya interrupted, feeling emboldened by Atlas's confidence flowing through their bond. "The enhanced animals detected them immediately. Maybe it's time to listen to what they're telling us." Dr. Kim stepped forward. "Maya's right, Colonel. Atlas has been exhibiting heightened awareness for weeks. If he's been sensing a Proxima presence that long, they've been studying us far longer than we realized." Atlas suddenly stood up and moved to the center of the room. He sat perfectly still, his enhanced collar beginning to emit a soft blue glow. Around the room, every other enhanced animal began to respond. Dogs alerting, cats' pupils dilating, ravens cawing in patterns that sounded almost like communication. "What's happening?" Colonel Martinez demanded. Maya closed her eyes and focused on her connection with Atlas. The sensation was stronger than ever before, and suddenly she could perceive what Atlas was sensing. 3 distinct points of alien consciousness hovering above the city, probing downward with invisible tendrils of psychic energy. "They're scanning," Maya said, her voice taking on an authority she didn't know she possessed. "The Proxima are trying to map our enhanced animals' neural networks. They want to understand how we developed immunity to their attacks." "How could you possibly know that?" the colonel asked. Maya opened her eyes and looked directly at him, though she couldn't see his face. "Because Atlas is showing me, and he's not just detecting them anymore. He's communicating with them." The room fell silent except for the soft humming of enhanced animal collars and the distant sounds of the city outside. Maya could feel the attention of every person in the room focused on her. "Dr. Kim, when you enhanced the animals, did you consider that the process might work both ways? That they might be able to project psychic energy as well as receive it?" Dr. Kim's voice was breathless with realization. "We focused on defensive capabilities. We never tested offensive applications." Atlas made a soft sound, and Maya felt a flood of images through their connection. Not her memories, but Atlas's. She saw the final battle 2 years ago from his perspective, and realized that the enhanced animals hadn't just protected humans from psychic attacks. They had launched a coordinated psychic assault that drove the Proxima away. The aliens didn't retreat because we fought them off, Maya said, her voice growing stronger. They left because Atlas and the other enhanced animals hurt them. Psychically wounded them in a way they didn't expect. That's impossible, Colonel Martinez protested. Animals don't have that kind of capability. Enhanced animals do, Maya replied. And they've been protecting Earth ever since, maintaining a psychic barrier that's kept the Proxima at bay. But the aliens have been probing for weaknesses, and now they think they've found one. Atlas moved closer to Maya, pressing against her legs. Through their connection, she felt his determination and something else, a request for permission. Atlas wants to try something, Maya announced. He wants to make contact with the Proxima ships directly. Absolutely not, the colonel said immediately. We can't risk exposing our assets to enemy influence. Maya felt a surge of anger that wasn't entirely her own. Atlas's protective instincts were merging with her own determination to be heard. Colonel, your conventional forces couldn't even detect the enemy until Atlas warned you. Your satellites, your radar, your advanced technology, all useless against an enemy that fights with the mind. But Atlas and the other enhanced animals can see them clearly and fight them on their own terms. She stood up, one hand resting on Atlas's head. Around the room she could sense the other enhanced animals responding to some signal only they could perceive. The Proxima came back because they think we're weak. They think that without understanding how the enhanced animals work, we can't maintain our defenses indefinitely. They're wrong. Maya felt Atlas's readiness and the answering call from every enhanced animal in the room. They were waiting for her signal, she realized. Somehow, in the space of a few days, she had become their coordinator. Dr. Kim, can you monitor psychic activity from here? Yes, but Maya, do it. Atlas is going to show the Proxima that Earth's defenses aren't just maintained, they're getting stronger. Without waiting for permission, Maya placed both hands on Atlas's head and opened her mind fully to their connection. The sensation was overwhelming. Suddenly, she could perceive not just Atlas's consciousness, but those of every enhanced animal in the room, and beyond that, the entire network of enhanced creatures throughout the city. Atlas projected their combined awareness upward, reaching toward the 3 alien ships. Maya felt the moment of contact like an electric shock, alien minds that were cold, calculating, utterly different from anything human. But Atlas wasn't afraid. Through their bond, Maya felt his message to the Proxima ships. Earth was protected. The enhanced animals were not just defensive weapons, but active guardians, and they were learning, growing stronger every day. The alien response was immediate. Surprise, then fear, then retreat. Maya felt the 3 ships accelerating away from Earth at incredible speed. Confirmed, Dr. Kim announced, staring at her instruments. All 3 Proxima signatures are departing Earth orbit. Maya collapsed into her chair, exhausted but triumphant. Atlas settled beside her, his collar returning to its normal soft glow. How? Colonel Martinez asked quietly. Maya smiled, scratching behind Atlas's ears. The same way humans have always protected what they love. We formed partnerships with creatures who share our world, and together we became something stronger than either species could be alone. Around the room, enhanced animals settled down as their handlers looked at them with new understanding. These weren't just pets or working animals. They were Earth's guardians, and their human partners were becoming something new as well. Colonel, Maya said, I think it's time to expand the enhanced animal program, and maybe start recognizing that the bonds between humans and animals can create capabilities that no technology can match. Atlas looked up at her, and Maya felt his approval flowing through their connection. They had won this battle, but both of them knew the war was far from over. The Proxima would return with better understanding of Earth's defenses. But they would find something they hadn't expected, a planet where the bonds between species had created a form of evolution that no alien mind could fully comprehend. 2 weeks after the Proxima encounter, Maya's life had transformed beyond recognition. The small apartment she shared with Atlas had become an unofficial headquarters for what the media was calling the Guardian Project. Every day brought new visitors, scientists, military officials, and handlers with enhanced animals from around the world. Maya sat at her kitchen table, which was now covered with communication devices and monitoring equipment. Atlas lay beside her chair, his enhanced collar interfacing wirelessly with the global network of enhanced animals. Through their connection, Maya could sense the psychic status of guardians in 12 major cities across 6 continents. Beijing reports all clear, she announced to Dr. Kim, who was setting up a holographic display in Maya's living room. The 3 enhanced pandas there detected a brief anomaly yesterday, but it dissipated before any action was needed. That's the 4th false alarm this week, Dr. Kim noted, pulling up data streams. Either the Proxima are testing our defenses more frequently, or something else is triggering the animal's sensitivity. Maya frowned, stroking Atlas's head. Through their bond, she sensed his concern about the increasing number of minor incidents. He was showing her images, not of Proxima ships, but of something else. Something emerging from Earth itself. Dr. Kim, what if the Proxima presence wasn't just external? What if they left something behind during the first invasion? Before Dr. Kim could respond, Maya's communication array lit up with incoming signals from enhanced animals worldwide. Atlas immediately stood up, his attention focused on something Maya couldn't perceive directly. "Maya," came a voice over the speakers. It was Commander Sarah Torres from the Australian Guardian Station. "We have a situation in Sydney. Our enhanced animals are detecting something massive moving underground." Similar reports began streaming in from Guardian stations around the world. London, Mexico City, Tokyo, Johannesburg. Enhanced animals everywhere were sensing underground disturbances that conventional seismic equipment couldn't detect. "It's not earthquakes," Maya said. Her eyes closed as she processed the information flowing through Atlas. "There's intelligence behind these movements." Coordinated intelligence, her phone rang. Colonel Martinez's voice was tight with urgency. "Maya, we need you at the Pentagon immediately. The president wants to understand what's happening. Colonel, I can't leave New York right now. Atlas is maintaining psychic coordination with Guardians worldwide. If I move him, then bring him." "Maya, every world leader is calling the White House asking about these underground anomalies. Our geological surveys show nothing, but your enhanced animals are going crazy. You're the only person who can explain what's happening." 3 hours later, Maya found herself in the most secure briefing room in the Pentagon, Atlas at her side and world leaders connected via holographic conference from their capitals. She had never imagined that a blind girl from New York would one day brief the President of the United States and the UN Security Council. "Ladies and gentlemen," President Chen began, "we're facing a situation that conventional military analysis cannot explain. I'm turning this briefing over to Maya Chen, who has become our primary interpreter of enhanced animal intelligence." Maya stood up, feeling the weight of global attention. Atlas pressed against her leg, sharing his confidence and clarity through their bond. 2 years ago, we thought the Proxima invasion was over when their ships left Earth, Maya began. But the enhanced animals never stopped sensing their presence. What we're detecting now isn't a new invasion. It's the activation of something the Proxima left behind. She gestured to Dr. Kim, who activated the holographic display showing a global map with pulsing red dots marking anomaly locations. Every major city targeted during the first invasion is experiencing underground activity. The Proxima didn't just attack our minds. They planted something in the Earth itself. "What kind of something?" asked the Prime Minister of Britain. Maya closed her eyes and reached deep into her connection with Atlas, extending her awareness to touch the global network of enhanced animals. The sensation was overwhelming. Dozens of different species all sensing the same wrongness beneath their feet. "Dormant psychic devices," Maya said, opening her eyes. "Buried deep beneath major population centers. They've been slowly growing, feeding on the psychic energy of millions of humans living above them." The room erupted in concerned murmurs. President Chen raised her hand for silence. "Maya, how can you be certain of this?" "Because Atlas and the other Guardians can see them now. The devices have grown large enough to register as distinct psychic signatures, and they're preparing to activate." Maya felt Atlas's urgent communication and her blood ran cold. "How long do we have?" she asked him silently. Through their bond, Atlas showed her a countdown that only enhanced animals could perceive. Maya's voice shook as she announced her findings. 72 hours. In 72 hours, every Proxima device will activate simultaneously. They'll turn every major city into a psychic broadcasting station, sending humanity into the same madness that nearly destroyed us during the first invasion. The president leaned forward. "What can we do to stop it?" Maya looked around the room at the most powerful leaders on Earth, then down at Atlas. whose steady presence reminded her that real strength often came from unexpected partnerships. The enhanced animals can disrupt the devices, but only if they're working in perfect coordination. Every guardian in every affected city will need to focus their psychic energy simultaneously. It's never been attempted on this scale. What are the risks? Asked the Secretary General of the United Nations. Maya hesitated. Through Atlas, she could sense what such an effort would require. The psychic strain could kill them, all of them. Enhanced animals aren't designed to project energy on a planetary scale. And if they fail, the Proxima won't need to return. Colonel Martinez finished grimly. They'll control humanity from the inside. Maya felt Atlas looking up at her, and through their connection she sensed something that made her heart swell with pride and terror. Every enhanced animal around the world was willing to attempt the mission, even knowing the cost. There's something else, Maya said quietly. The animals can't do this alone. They need human partners to channel through to help them focus and amplify their abilities. Partners who have developed psychic sensitivity through long-term bonding. How many such partners exist? The president asked. 47 confirmed worldwide, Dr. Kim answered. Including Maya. Not enough, Maya said. We need coordinators in every affected city. And the process to develop psychic sensitivity normally takes months. Atlas made a soft sound, and Maya felt him sharing an image that made her gasp. Unless, she continued, her voice growing stronger, we use the enhanced animal's abilities to accelerate the bonding process. Atlas is showing me that it's possible to create emergency psychic links between animals and humans who've never worked together before. How dangerous is that? The president asked. Maya smiled sadly. Less dangerous than letting the Proxima turn our own cities into weapons against us. Around the room, world leaders exchanged glances. Maya could sense their fear, but also their determination to protect their people. What do you need from us? President Chen finally asked. Maya stood up straighter, feeling Atlas's unwavering support flow through their bond. Transport enhanced animals and their handlers to every affected city. Coordinate with local authorities to identify humans with latent psychic sensitivity. And give me real-time communication with every Guardian team worldwide. She paused, looking around the room at the most powerful people on Earth. Most importantly, understand that what we're about to attempt will change everything. The relationship between humans and animals. Our understanding of consciousness, the very nature of what it means to be human. We're not just fighting for our survival, we're evolving. Atlas stood up beside her, and Maya felt the approval of enhanced animals around the world flowing through their global network. 72 hours, she repeated. That's how long we have to save our species and become something the Proxima never expected, a planet where different forms of consciousness can unite to create something stronger than either could achieve alone. The president nodded grimly. Then let's get to work. 0 hour minus 30 minutes. Maya stood on the roof of the Pentagon, surrounded by the most sophisticated communication equipment the military possessed. Atlas lay beside her, his enhanced collar now blazing with blue light as he maintained connections with 47 Guardian teams across 6 continents. The plan was simple in concept, terrifying in execution. Every enhanced animal on Earth would simultaneously project their psychic energy downward, disrupting the Proxima devices buried beneath major cities. Maya would coordinate the effort through Atlas, serving as the central hub for a global network of consciousness unlike anything in Earth's history. Status report, Maya called out, her voice carrying across the emergency command frequencies. London team ready, came Commander Hayes's voice from Britain. Prince, our enhanced Corgi, has successfully bonded with local volunteer Marcus Webb. Psychic link is stable. Tokyo confirms readiness, reported Dr. Tanaka. Yuki, our enhanced Akita, is linked with volunteer Hiroshi Sato. No complications. Similar confirmations streamed in from around the world: Sydney, Mexico City, Moscow, Cairo, Mumbai. Every major city now had an enhanced animal paired with a human volunteer who had undergone emergency psychic bonding. The process had been painful for everyone involved. Creating psychic links that normally took months to develop in just 3 days had pushed both humans and animals to their limits. Maya felt the strain of every newly bonded pair through her connection with Atlas, their consciousness burning bright but fragile in the global network. Maya, Dr. Kim's voice came through her earpiece. We're detecting massive energy buildup from the buried devices. Estimate 15 minutes until activation. Through Atlas, Maya sensed the Proxima installations awakening beneath every major city. They pulsed with alien intelligence, ready to flood the surface world with psychic energy that would drive humanity into madness. All teams, prepare for final synchronization, Maya announced. She closed her eyes and reached deep into her bond with Atlas, feeling his strength and determination flowing through her. Together, they extended their awareness to touch every enhanced animal in the network. The sensation was overwhelming. Maya's consciousness expanded beyond anything she had ever experienced, connecting her to dozens of different animal minds across the globe. She felt the fierce loyalty of German shepherds in Berlin, the ancient wisdom of enhanced elephants in Nairobi, the quick intelligence of ravens in Moscow, the patient strength of pandas in Beijing. Each animal was linked to a human partner, creating a chain of consciousness that spanned the planet. Maya felt the fear and determination of 47 volunteers who had risked their sanity to forge emergency bonds with creatures they had never met. 10 minutes to activation, Dr. Kim warned. Maya felt the Proxima devices stirring to full wakefulness. They were vast, far larger than anyone had imagined, with tendrils of alien technology reaching deep into the Earth's crust. When they activated, they would turn the planet itself into a psychic weapon. Beginning countdown, Maya announced. All teams prepare for coordinated strike in 60 seconds. Through the global network, she felt every enhanced animal focusing their abilities. The strain was enormous. They were preparing to project psychic energy on a scale that could kill them all. 50 seconds. Maya sensed movement in the network. 3 Guardian teams weren't responding properly. In Cairo, the enhanced animal, a magnificent Arabian horse named Zahara, was struggling with her partner's inexperience. In Mumbai, the stress of the emergency bonding was causing both animal and human to lose focus. In São Paulo, their enhanced Jaguar Esperanza was fighting against the unnatural psychic connection. 40 seconds. Maya made a decision that terrified her. Through Atlas, she reached out to the struggling teams and shared her own strength, allowing them to use her bond with Atlas as a stabilizing force. The sensation nearly overwhelmed her. Suddenly, she was connected not just to Atlas, but directly to every enhanced animal on Earth. 30 seconds. The Proxima devices were fully active now, preparing to broadcast their madness-inducing signals. Maya could feel their alien intelligence probing upward, seeking human minds to corrupt. 20 seconds. Maya felt several human volunteers begin to falter under the psychic pressure. The emergency bonds were breaking down under stress they weren't designed to handle. 10 seconds. 3 teams lost connection entirely. Beijing went dark as their volunteer collapsed from psychic overload. Moscow's team struggled as their enhanced raven panicked from the overwhelming sensations. Cairo's connection was fading fast. 5 seconds. Maya felt Atlas making a choice that broke her heart. He began drawing power not just from their bond but from his own life force, preparing to compensate for the failing teams by burning out his enhanced abilities permanently. No, Maya whispered to him through their connection. We find another way. Now, Maya shouted. Instead of letting Atlas sacrifice himself, Maya did something unprecedented. She opened her mind completely to the global network, offering her own consciousness as a conduit for every enhanced animal on Earth. The sensation was beyond description. Maya felt her individual identity dissolving as she became a living bridge between dozens of animal minds. Through her, the enhanced animals could share their strength with each other, compensating for the teams that had failed. Psychic energy erupted from 47 locations simultaneously. Deep beneath the Earth, Proxima devices that had been growing for 2 years suddenly found themselves under assault by a coordinated network of minds they had never encountered before. Maya felt the moment of contact like lightning through her nervous system. The enhanced animals' combined psychic force struck the alien devices with precision and power that surprised even the Proxima technology. Instead of simply disrupting the devices, the coordinated strike began unraveling their very structure. The Proxima installations fought back, sending waves of corrupted energy upward. But Maya and the enhanced animals were ready. Every attack was absorbed by the global network and converted into pure defensive energy that strengthened their assault. It's working, Dr. Kim's voice seemed to come from very far away. Seismic sensors are detecting massive structural collapses in all target zones. The devices are being destroyed. Maya felt the Proxima technology dying. Its alien intelligence screaming in frequencies only the enhanced animals could perceive. But the effort was taking its toll. She felt enhanced animals around the world pushing beyond their limits, their life forces burning bright as they poured everything into the final assault. In Sydney, Prince the Corgi collapsed but continued projecting energy. In Tokyo, Yuki the Akita was bleeding from the strain but refused to break connection. In London, Marcus Webb was unconscious, but his enhanced partner Hayes maintained their bond through sheer will. Almost there, Maya managed to say, through the overwhelming sensation of dozens of minds flowing through her consciousness, the last Proxima device died, with a psychic scream that echoed through every enhanced animal on Earth. Maya felt the moment of victory like sunrise after the longest night. Then, the network began to collapse. Enhanced animals around the world had given everything they had. Maya felt their connections going dark one by one as exhaustion overwhelmed them. Several had burned out their enhancements entirely, returning to normal animal consciousness. Others were unconscious but alive. Maya's own connection with Atlas flickered as he struggled to maintain their bond after the massive expenditure of energy. "Atlas," she whispered, reaching for him with shaking hands. His enhanced collar was dark, its power completely drained. But when Maya touched his head, she felt something that made her weep with joy. Their bond was still there, not dependent on technology anymore, but forged through shared experience and mutual trust. "Status report," she called weakly into her communicator. One by one, Guardian teams reported in. Casualties were heavy. 12 enhanced animals had lost their abilities permanently, and 6 human volunteers were in critical condition from psychic overload. But they were alive, and the Proxima devices were destroyed. "All major cities report normal seismic activity," Dr. Kim announced. "No psychic anomalies detected." "Maya, you did it. You all did it." Maya collapsed beside Atlas, who was breathing heavily but looking at her with the same intelligence and devotion he had always shown. Enhanced or not, he was still her partner. "We did it," she whispered to him. "We saved everyone." As reports continued streaming in from around the world, Maya realized that something unprecedented had happened. 47 humans and enhanced animals had shared consciousness on a global scale and emerged changed. They had become something new. Not just individual partnerships, but a network of minds that could coordinate across any distance. The Proxima had sought to turn Earth's cities into weapons. Instead, they had forced humanity to evolve, creating bonds between species that no alien intelligence could understand or counter. Atlas rested his head on Maya's chest, and through their permanent bond she felt his satisfaction. They had not just won a battle. They had become the foundation for a new kind of consciousness that would protect Earth for generations to come. 6 months later, Maya walked through the newly established Guardian Academy in Central Park, the same place where she had first met Atlas. The old Enhanced Animal Research Institute had been transformed into a global campus where humans and animals learned to develop the bonds that had saved. Earth Atlas padded beside her, his enhanced collar replaced by a simple leather one. The technology was no longer necessary. Their psychic connection had become as natural as breathing. Though the mechanical enhancements had burned out during the global strike, something far more profound had taken their place. "Good morning, Maya," called Dr. Kim, approaching with a clipboard and a smile. "The morning class is ready for you." Maya nodded, making her way to the outdoor amphitheater where 30 students waited with their animal partners. The Guardian program had expanded beyond anyone's imagination. What had started as military enhancement had evolved into something completely new, a form of consciousness that was spreading naturally throughout human society. "Today we're going to practice synchronized awareness," Maya announced to her class. "Remember, this isn't about controlling your animal partner or being controlled by them. It's about becoming something greater together." She watched as students settled beside their companions, dogs, cats, horses, even a few exotic species like ravens and dolphins in specialized tanks. Each pair was learning to develop the same kind of bond Maya shared with Atlas, though none would ever match the intensity forged in those desperate 72 hours. "Marcus, how are you and Prince doing?" Maya asked, smiling at the young man from London who had volunteered for emergency bonding during the crisis. Marcus Webb grinned, scratching behind his corgi's ears. Better every day. Yesterday, Prince warned me about a sinkhole 20 minutes before the city engineers detected it. Our psychic range is expanding. Similar success stories filled every class. The 47 human-animal pairs who had participated in the global strike had become the foundation for a new understanding of consciousness itself. Their experiences were being studied, replicated, and carefully taught to others who showed psychic sensitivity. After class, Maya walked to her favorite spot overlooking the lake where a memorial had been erected. Carved in black stone were the names of the 6 enhanced animals who had died during the global strike, and the 3 human volunteers who hadn't survived the psychic overload. Atlas sat beside the memorial as he did every day. Maya felt his grief for the companions they had lost, but also his pride in what they had accomplished. Maya, a small voice interrupted her thoughts. She turned to find Elena Rodriguez, an 8-year-old girl whose family had moved to New York specifically to enroll her in the Guardian program. Elena had been born with natural psychic sensitivity and had already formed a remarkable bond with a young golden retriever named Saul. "What is it, Elena? My grandmother wants to know if what we do here is magic." The girl's voice was serious in the way only children could be when discussing important matters. Maya smiled, remembering a time when she might have called it magic too. "What do you think it is?" Elena considered this carefully, her hand resting on Saul's head. "I think it's love, but the kind of love that makes you stronger instead of weaker." "That's exactly right," Maya said, feeling Atlas's agreement through their bond. As they walked back toward the academy buildings, Maya reflected on how much had changed. The Guardian program had expanded to every continent, with academies in 47 cities. The pairs who had participated in the global strike served as instructors, sharing their hard-won knowledge with new generations. But the changes went beyond just training. Society itself was evolving. Crime rates had plummeted in cities where Guardian pairs worked alongside police. Search and rescue operations had become incredibly efficient with animal partners, who could sense survivors from miles away. Even therapy and healthcare were being revolutionized by animals who could detect illnesses before symptoms appeared. The Proxima had never returned. Deep space monitoring stations detected no alien activity, and the enhanced animals showed no signs of extraterrestrial threats. It seemed that humanity's rapid evolution had surprised the aliens as much as it had surprised humanity itself. Maya's phone buzzed with a message from President Chen, now a close friend rather than just a political leader. The president had adopted an enhanced German shepherd named Liberty, and regularly consulted with Maya on matters of national security. "Maya, the UN Security Council has approved our proposal for the Global Guardian Network. Every nation will have access to training and resources for developing human-animal consciousness bonds. Your vision is becoming reality." Maya smiled, sharing the news through her bond with Atlas. He responded with satisfaction and something that felt like amusement. After all, dogs had been trying to teach humans about unconditional partnership for thousands of years. It had just taken an alien invasion to make humanity finally listen. That evening, Maya sat in her apartment, now expanded to accommodate visiting students and their animal partners. Henrik Larsson was there, his health much improved since reuniting with Atlas during weekly visits. Dr. Kim was reviewing progress reports from Guardian academies worldwide. Colonel Martinez, now Director of Guardian Operations, was coordinating with international partners via holographic conference. "Maya," Henrik said quietly, "I need to tell you something I've never told anyone." Maya looked up from where she was brushing Atlas's coat. Through their bond, she felt the old man's nervousness and deep emotion. "The day I brought Atlas to meet you in the park, that wasn't an accident. Atlas had been leading me there for weeks. Always the same route, always stopping at the same spot. I thought it was just another one of his episodes." Maya's hand stilled in Atlas's fur. "You think he was looking for me?" "I think he knew you were exactly what he needed." "And what the world needed." Henrik's voice grew soft with wonder. "Dogs see things we don't, Maya. They always have. Atlas saw in you the potential to become something extraordinary." Maya felt Atlas's warm agreement flowing through their connection. He had indeed been searching for her, following instincts enhanced by alien technology, but rooted in something far older. the deep understanding that different species could become stronger together. And now look what you've built, Dr. Kim added, gesturing to the academy plan spread across Maya's coffee table. Guardian pairs in every major city, psychic sensitivity training in schools, healing bonds forming between humans and animals worldwide. You've changed the definition of what it means to be human. Maya stood up and walked to her window overlooking Central Park. In the distance, she could see the lights of the Guardian Academy, where students from around the world were learning to develop the same kind of bond she shared with Atlas. We changed it, Maya corrected. Every person who opened their mind to partnership with another species. Every animal who trusted a human enough to share their unique perceptions. Every volunteer who risked their sanity to save strangers they'd never met. Atlas joined her at the window, pressing against her legs in the gesture that had become their signature of unity. The Proxima thought they could control us by turning our greatest strength, our ability to live in cities,
to gather in large numbers, into a weakness, Maya continued.
Instead, they forced us to discover an even greater strength, the bonds between different forms of consciousness. She felt Atlas's deep contentment through their connection, along with his awareness of the global network that still linked them to guardian pairs worldwide. Even now, enhanced animals and their human partners maintained a loose psychic connection that could be strengthened if Earth ever faced another threat. But more than that, Maya sensed something that filled her with hope for the future. Children like Elena Rodriguez were being born with natural psychic sensitivity, developing bonds with animals as easily as learning to walk. The next generation would grow up in a world where the partnership between human and animal consciousness was normal, natural, and beautiful. A blind girl had met a retired police dog in Central Park 6 months ago. What happened next had indeed touched everyone, not just the millions of people whose lives had been saved, but every person who witnessed two different species choosing to trust each other completely. From that simple meeting, had grown a new form of consciousness that would protect Earth and guide humanity's evolution for generations to come. And at the center of it all was a bond between a young woman and a remarkable dog who had seen in each other exactly what the world needed. Maya smiled, scratching behind Atlas's ears as the lights of the Guardian Academy twinkled in the distance like stars. Tomorrow would bring new students, new bonds, and new possibilities for what humans and animals could accomplish together. The future had never looked brighter.